Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nantakoti Vaishnavandi Ki Jai Namacharya Das Thakur Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we have come to the last day.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Understand Gita meeting. This level 1. It's a big chapter. It will go a bit fast. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to Understand Gita in 18 days. So, chapter 18, the perfect renunciation or Moksha Sanyasa Yoga. So, actually, the chapter 2 is also called as the Gita is summarized, right? The content of Gita summarized. Prabhupada gives the name of the chapter. It's a Sankhya Yoga. But also, he gives that some contents of Gita summarized because it has almost we saw everything covered in the chapter 2, but then elaborately we saw in all the others chapter. So ideally the Bhagavad Gita is completed in the chapter 17, but then now again it's like a revision. So whatever we have seen in the last chapters, so that will be like a revision. So let's pay our obeisances to Sri Radha Govind and to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna uvacha sanyasyasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha pritakeshi nishudana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga, and of renounced order of life, sannyasa. O killer of Keshi demon, master of the senses. So basically in the chapter 3 and chapter 5, right? That was the question, like ekam vada, means tell me one thing. Do I have to give up everything? Because in chapter 2, Krishna speaks about the buddhi yoga. So whenever there is an intelligence, when we have to apply knowledge, then Arjuna misunderstands that it is like something to do with I have to give up all the work and then take up the devotional service. So in the chapter 3 and again in the chapter 5 he asked, right? So now here he is asking, so what is the purpose of renunciation and the renounced order of life? So usually it is a common conception in people that in order to take bhakti, we have to give up everything, right? So you have to, it is only possible to do the spiritual life, to devotional service only by taking all the, by giving up all the activities. So that is what he is again asking this. Here, it is for our benefit. He's just summarizing this, Arjuna, and then he's mentioning Krishna as Rishikesha. So Rishikesha means Krishna is the master of senses and mind. So he's asking him so that his mind can be at peace. So, and then Keshi Nishudana is also because all the doubts are compared to demons. So whenever there is a arise in doubt, there is a doubt in the mind of a devotee, then he is asking that as a compared to a demon. So just like how Krishna had killed a Keshi demon, so similarly you kill my doubt. So he's now Arjuna's question. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma palatyagam prahustyagam vichakshanaha. So what is Krishna saying? Giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life or sannyasa. And giving up the result of the all activities is what the minds called as renunciation. So the two terms we need to understand here. One is that what is sannyasa, renounced order of life. So Krishna says here, and the other is the tyaga. So sannyasa, Krishna says that it's not like giving up completely the activities. We should never give up, right? Even for maintaining the physical body, we need to work. So we cannot give up the activities, but here it is said that you give up the activities on material platform. So everything. So for Krishna, like not expecting the, working on a material, not on a material platform, but then when we connect to God, then it becomes yoga, right? So then that does not become a, then there is no binding, right? There is no binding. So then it becomes a sannyasa. So sannyasa means when we are working for a satisfaction of the Lord, then it becomes sannyasa, not for my senses, sense gratification. And then the tyaga means not expecting the result, right? So Krishna asked Arjuna to fight. So, and then and leave the result to me, right? He says that don't expect, leave the result to me. You just have to become an instrument and then fight. So these two terms. So some learned men declare that all kind of fruitive activities should be given up as a faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. So this is Krishna saying that there are in material world people, there are some sages who believe that you should do the sacrifice, in the sense fruitive activity. The sacrifice in fruitive activity means the killing of the animals in the sacrifices. And because this was done in the Vedic age, but then that time when they used to give the animal for sacrifices, the animal would get a next life. So that was even benefiting the animal. But now nobody does that, right? We don't have such kind of sages or brahmanas who can perform such sacrifices. But then even at that time, there were sages who were not agreeing to that, because considering that that is also a living entity and it's the soul. So we should not do that. So there were two kind of men. So that is what Krishna is explaining here, that in this shloka. Yagnadana tapakarma natyajam karyameva tat yagnodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So charity is always, we have to do it. Whatever stage we are, we have to practice that. So slowly, because even in the 12th chapter, we see like from in Ananya Bhakti, so second comes the Sadhana Bhakti, and then the Nishkama Karma Yoga. After that, we see Sakama Karma, right? Even in the Sakama Karma, we give some portion to the, in the good work the people give for charity or these things. So that is always has to be done. So actually the Gruhasthas, they have to give the charity, right? So charity is always to be done. So here is a story from Bhagavatam. So what happens? There was a king, Daksha, right? Daksha and his daughter Sati. So once what happens? He married his daughter to Lord Shiva, but he was not liking it because Brahma said he gives her daughter to Lord Shiva. He didn't like because the way Lord Ishvara is so renounced and he lives in a graveyard, right? And he puts all the vibhuti on his body. So he didn't like him, and he used to carry all that on his neck, the skulls of the bodies, right? So he didn't have respect towards his son-in-law, but then he gave his daughter. So, but once what happens, he performs a big sacrifice, and he didn't invite his daughter. But she come to know, from the other, everybody, all the devatas, they were all going in the plane, in the Gandharvas, everybody in the airplane. She sees and she asks, like, what is happening? Or where are you going, all of you? Then they say that, so Daksha, the king Daksha, is kept a very big sacrifice. So we are all going there. So then she goes to her husband and asks that, even I want to participate, let me go. Then Lord Shiva says that it is not, you are not invited. So then she says that I don't need an invitation because it's my father's house. I can go anytime, right? So why should I need an invitation? And then he says that I'm telling you, if you go, then you may not you may not be given respect. So I say that you should not go. But then if you insist, you may go. But he says like that. So then she goes there. She didn't listen to her husband. She goes there. And she sees that actually in the sacrificial fire, there should be a seat given separately for the Lord Shiva also. But then that was not given. And Daksha ignores her. She didn't even speak to he didn't even speak to her properly. So then by seeing that, actually she felt insulted that there is no seat given, kept for her husband. And then she says that she didn't wanted to have the body which is given by such a father, right? She felt and then she gives up. She wanted to give up her body, and she jumps into the sacrificial fire and she gives up her life. When Lord Shiva comes to know about it, he becomes very angry, and then he comes down and he cuts the head of Daksha. So now what happens? All the great sages, Brahmanas, everyone, they start praying like we cannot stop, because all these sacrifices are good for the humanity in general. So you cannot stop that. So they all beg Lord Shiva that we should do something. And then Lord Shiva keeps a goat head to to Daksha. And then Daksha understands his mistake and he goes to him. He asks forgiveness. So here, one interesting thing, Prabhupada says that, how is that if the brain is in head? So after the head is replaced, how is that Daksha is able to remember everything? So actually, the intelligence comes from the soul. The soul also has an intelligence. So that is what is a sign that there is a soul. It's not just a brain. And then after that, then Vishnu also comes, and the sacrifice happens. Vishnu was satisfied. So Lord Krishna or Vishnu, he comes on his Garuda, and then all were happy. So this is why even the great people, the great men, they also do the sacrifice. You should not leave. So all these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. This is my final opinion. So here we can see the person is helping some animal. So this is just a matter of duty, saving animal, because they are also a living entity, right? Just like some of it is our, just like us, because of karma, it has taken like a, but then we should be compassionate even towards other animals. So it's just a matter of duty. So Krishna is telling that as a Kshatriya, you should fight. Don't get attached to the result, whether you're going to win or not win, you should not think about it. Just you have to fight. So here, based on the 3 modes of nature, which you studied in the chapter 14, right? And yesterday also based on that, we had the chapter like how the faith differs. So here, we are seeing a couple of shlokas which is going to explain in 3 modes of nature how a nature of person. So here, the prescribed duties when it comes. So when the person is in mode of ignorance, he rejects. He does not do that. Why? The reason being the illusion. Because he don't believe in that, right? Because he thinks the religion to be religion and irreligion to be religion. And in the mode of passion, the person also gives up. Means he takes it, but he does not complete it. He gives up in the middle. It is because of some difficulty or fear. So he gives up. And then in the mode of goodness, however difficult it is, the person does not give up. He completes till the end. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kind of endeavor, and ultimately the supreme soul. These are the 5 factors of action. So this is basically, so if you can go, yeah. So here we can see. So for any action to be complete, we need 5 things. So what are they? So one is the place, right? The place of action. So the place of action, and then the various senses. So various senses means the people are involved, right? They have to see. So here there is some factory coming up. So they are checking with their eyes and they're using their hands. So the various senses involved. And the performer himself. And this is the endeavor. Endeavor in the sense, like for a factory to come up, so any manufacturing unit, you need so many machineries and all that setup, right? So this is required. So then finally, there's the approval of Paramatma. So this is required. So most of the time, we forget that there should be approval of Krishna. Otherwise, it will not happen. So we see like so many, if everything could happen with money, then why so many marriages, gets cancelled at the last minute, right? Everything is done, all preparation is done, everything is done, but then that is Krishna's approval was not there. So similarly here also, the example of like a sari shop, if you, so sari or a cloth shop. So here what happens? So there is a place. So the place is there, and then the various senses. So people, when they want to buy anything, they have to feel that cloth, right? The material, they have to see the colors, different colors, and then only they will be able to buy. So various senses involved, and the performer and the place of action. So buyer and seller is involved. The performer is here, buyer and seller. And the place is the shop, and the various senses. And then comes the endeavor. So what is that endeavor means? So if they have to have a good sale, obviously they need to have good advertisement, right? They need to make some attractive posters, or they have to give in advertisement, or they have to keep in like they keep dolls in front of the shops to attract people, and giving some discounts. So many things. So these are all different endeavors for any action to take place. They have to do, and then finally, then the Krishna's approval. If Krishna's approval is not there, then nobody will come. Though the shop is having everything, then there'll be very less customers. We see, right, in some shops, everything they have, but then customers are very less. But then there may be a very small shop, but then so many customers are there. So there Krishna's approval is there. So that shows that for any of, that is the reason, this is also one of the reasons why we should not get attached to fruits of our action, because the result is not in our hand. If Krishna approves, then only it is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyati akrita buddhitvam nasa pashyati durmatihi. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. So everywhere there's a hands of the Lord, right? So nothing can move without Krishna's approval. So that is what Krishna says here. If somebody thinks that you can do anything, I can do just because I have money, lot of money, I can do anything, that is foolishness. Only because maybe some karma is there, good karma he has done in past life. That is why, because some people ask, right, this person is not really good, but then everything good happening to him. How is that Krishna approving? Because there'll be some karma like he would have done in the past lives. Because of that, he is able to achieve everything. But then that will also, once the karma is over, and if he still continues in a wrong path, then obviously he will have to bear the results. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. So one has to undergo the psychological process of thinking, feeling, and willing, and that is called impetus. So basically, for any action to take place, right? So these three things are required. What is that? Senses, knowledge, and person. And then also the knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. So that motivate the action. So before doing any action, obviously the person cannot. So now he has to make a goal, right? He has to put. So then he has to think before he does, right? He has to aim properly. So that is where the mind is involved. So that thinking, feeling, and willing. So these things he has to. So then the object is here, object of knowledge, and the person is the knower. So these three things are required for any action to take place. So it can be even whatever work we do, we need to think about it before we just act, right? So when even if we have to cook also, or if there is some guest coming, we have to plan before we execute. So this senses, the work, and the doer, they constitute the three constituents of action. So now you can take a paper and pencil. Okay, this is just a self-assessment. You need not tell me what is your grades. So this is just like for if the first one, you are in the first one, then it is 3. The second one, then it is 2, and the last one, it is 1 mark. Okay. So 1 being the lowest and 3 being the highest. So that basically is a 3 gunas, sattva, rajo, and tamo gunas. 3 kinds of knowledge based on the modes of material nature. That knowledge, which one undivided spiritual nature, is seen in all existence. Undivided in the divided is knowledge in the mode of goodness. So can somebody tell me what does it mean? Knowledge which is one undivided spiritual nature is seen. This we have learned in the previous classes. If you can recall, what is that? How is a person able to see the undivided spiritual nature in all the existence? What does it mean? Hare Krishna. You can post in the chat also. Okay, we'll read all this and then I'll come back. That knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is knowledge in the mode of passion. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as all in all without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager is said to be in mode of darkness. Okay, nobody is able to guess the first one. Okay, I will tell. So basically the person is able to see the Paramatma in everyone's heart. So that is the undivided spiritual nature which he sees. He is able to see everyone as the same. Like it can be what is that? Shuni Chaiva Swapakesha Brahmana Samadarshinaha, right? So that person who is in a transcendental platform, he is able to see everyone in a equal platform. So that is in a mode of goodness. And then that knowledge by which a different type of entity means seeing differentiating between the poor and rich, and seeing somebody as a superior and inferior or animal, and like that differentiation is called as in mode of passion. And in the mode of ignorance, that person does not have any knowledge about the soul. So he's in a bodily material platform, right? So body conscious. So this knowledge is in mode of ignorance. So here we can see in the mode of goodness, the person is able to see that there is a Paramatma. So he will not hurt even the other living entities. So he has that understanding. So here, that knowledge by which that person, this is for mode of passion, he is differentiating between the different entities. And this is for the last one, the mode of ignorance. From the Prabhupada gives that for him, God is money, and knowledge means satisfaction of bodily demands. So only two things. Such knowledge has no connection with absolute truth. It is more or less like knowledge of ordinary animals, the knowledge of eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and mating. So we can see here, the people are also eating and the animal eating, sleeping, both do, defending. So protecting or saving for future, both comes under defending, and then mating, so having kids. So this is also there. But then what makes humans different? The reasoning, questioning, thinking, and logical intelligence. So if these are not absent, and if a person is involved only these things, then he is in a mode of ignorance. Three kind of action based on mode of material nature. As for actions, that action in accordance with duty, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive activities, is called action in the mode of goodness. So this person, the person who is in mode of goodness, right? So he will do as a matter of duty. So taking care of, it can be taking care of parents or his wife or children, giving good education for children. So everything as a matter of duty he does. So he does not have without attachment, without love or hate. So this is a mode of goodness. And actions in based of passion, but action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, and which is enacted from a sense of false ego, is called action in mode of passion. So this person usually is attached to the result, and if any work is there, he will only work if he is expecting some bonus or some promotion, right? Something in return. Otherwise, he won't get that interest in working. So some benefit he wants in return. So that person is called to be working in an action in mode of passion. And that person performed in ignorance and delusion without consideration of future bondage or consequence, which inflicts injury and is impractical, is said to be in the action of to be action in mode of ignorance. So basically, doing any foolish activity or the terrorism which people do, also those things are criminal activities that people perform. So this all comes in the action in mode of ignorance. So now three kind of workers based on the three material modes. The worker who is free from all material attachment and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, and who is indifferent to success or failure, is a worker in the mode of goodness. So for such a worker, most of the companies would want such kind of a worker, right? Who is dedicated and who can, he can stretch, or he can work on, if any emergency work comes on the weekend also, he is ready to work, right? He is no false ego attached. So he is enthusiastic and no supervision is required for him. So such a person is in a worker in a mode of goodness. So a worker in a mode of passion, but that worker who is attached to fruits of his labor and who passionately wants to enjoy them, who is greedy, envious, and impure, and moved by happiness and distress, is a worker in mode of passion. So for him, there should be a money and everything he does for sense gratification. So why he needs money? To enjoy obviously the person who is a very greedy, he will always be envious. These are all like byproducts, right? From the everything comes as a byproduct. And then he is impure. And then the mode of ignorance, and the worker who is always engaged in work against the injunction of scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is a worker in mode of ignorance. So we see like these people in companies also, or even many places wherever we see in the workplaces, we can see such kind of employees, right? I mean, they're not interested to work. I mean, only they'll be waiting for when will be the weekend or when will be the leave. So very lazy, and whatever work is there, they keep on postponing. So this is said to be in worker in mode of ignorance. Now, three kind of intelligence based on modes of nature, material nature. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done, what ought not to be done, what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. That understanding established in the mode of goodness. So this person, like he follows the scriptures, shastras, so he is aware what is to be done and what is not to be done. So Shastra says something not to be done, he will never do that. What is to be feared, right? And what is not to be feared. So he's very cautious. He will not commit mistake because he knows, like if I do in the fruitive activities, Krishna says, right? If you are engaged, then again you keep on coming to this material world. So he knows what is to be feared and what not to be feared, and what is binding and what is liberating. So that person is said to be in mode of goodness. And that understanding which cannot distinguish between the religious ways of life and irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding, O son of Pritha, is in mode of passion. So when in a mode of passion, the person is not able to discriminate rightly, right? He always in a confusion. So the mission is not clear. So that is called as the person in mode of passion. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. So this person, whatever he thinks, his own whimsical thinking, right? So he does not believe on any shastras. So always in illusion and darkness. So this person is in mode of ignorance. So now three kind of determination based on three modes. O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice and thus controls the mind, life and acts of senses, is in mode of goodness. So he is very determined, right? So it can be like in the devotional service or in your spiritual life. So chanting 16 rounds, he is very determined. And sitting for 18 days for Bhagavad Gita also, this is also determination required. Not everybody, because many of them live in the between. So completing till 18 days also, you have to be determined. Otherwise, you will not be able to do that. Not easy, right? And then second one, and determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development and sense gratification, is the nature of passion. So he always has he is determined, but then there is an expectation as in a fruitive results. So that is his determination in mode of passion. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation and moroseness and illusion. Such unintelligent determination is mode of darkness. So basically this is for the person who is a daydreamer, right? Is a daydreamer. So, and this is Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was so determined. So he was every day only like 2 hours he used to sleep, right? So every day he's I think around from 10 to 12 was his sleeping time. So 12 o'clock midnight he used to get up, and he used to write the Bhagavatam. So all the Bhagavatam, whatever Prabhupada, the first canto Prabhupada had written before he went, he went to West. So the 3 books he had written. So that time he was all the night from 12 to 5 he used to write. So he was very determined because he had his gurus, the spiritual masters order that you have to preach this and you have to write whatever is in Sanskrit, convert everything in English, and you have to spread this Krishna conscious to all over the world. So he was very determined. And whenever Prabhupada used to visit different countries, so it is like, even if because there'll be a time lag, right? If we reach in the morning, So, and then here it will be night, and then when he reach the other country, then again it may be, it will be morning, he leave here. Again, the other country, when he reach, it will be again morning. But then Prabhupada never used to sleep there, but not possible for everyone. But he was conducting all the activities as per that time, as per that country. So if it is 6 o'clock there, so he will go for a walk, and then 8 o'clock he will have a Bhagavatam class, and then 5 o'clock he will meet the people. It can be the press or some big people. And then night he will be translating the translation work he would be doing. So that is in mode of goodness. Now, 3 kind of happiness based on mode of 3 modes. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization is said to be happiness in mode of goodness. So Bhagavad Gita or chanting, when we take, the mind does not allow us to do. It is so much of disturbance is there, but then still we should be determined and you do. So initially there is a pain, right? Initially there is a pain, but then later when you develop taste, when Bhagavad Gita also initially we may not like, but then when we start slowly reading and then we develop the taste, you start liking it. So this is in mode of goodness. So that happiness which derived from contact of sense with the objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at end is said to be in the nature of passion. So this is like whenever there is a contact with the senses, with the sense object, it is said in Shastras that the misery starts. So when too much of attached to the sense object, so obviously there is initially there is a happiness, and then there is a it is poison at the end. Initially nectar and then poison at the end. Or it can be like watching, right? Too much of TV addiction and these things. So not good, right? You watch and then later like the gaming, how many children have lost? So many disabilities have formed because of watching games for a long time, and also using of mobile phones. These all have side effects. Initially, it is nice for enjoying, but then it is poison at end. And that happiness, which is bind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to the end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is called as nature of to be in the nature of ignorance. So a student who is involved in all the bad activities, so he's drinking, smoking, so he's not concentrating when the exam is coming, but then he fails, right? So which is delusion from beginning and to the end. So there's no happiness there. So now you can check your scores. I don't know if you all have marked. So the first one was 3, 2, and 1. So if you are near to the 18, it is very good score. And if you are 12, okay, it is in the middle. Like you can pick your sleeves up. And not 6, not so great. So now the 3 ashramas. So this is what where Krishna explained in the chapter 4. Chaturvanya Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, right? I made the caste system based on the guna and karma, based on the quality acquired and the karma the person is doing. So now Krishna explains here the qualities of a Brahmana and a Kshatriya and a Vaishya and a Shudra. So whoever possesses this quality is called as a Brahmana, not just by birth. So Brahmana means he should have this. The first one, peacefulness. Shamodhamastapashaucham kshantirarjavamivacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness. These are the qualities by which a Brahmanas work. So how do we understand which nature the person belongs to? So N.A.D. Prabhuji says always, like, you should see what is a person doing when he's free, right? So everybody can, when your mind is occupied or that is fine. But then when you are free, what are you doing? So based on that, if I read, then you are a Brahmana, right? If you are reading, you want to gain knowledge. So if your mind is in that way, then you are a Brahmana. So Brahmana is basically respected due to the quality he possesses, all these qualities, not just by birth. So in Kali Yuga, it is said that Janmana Jayate Shudra, Samskarat Bhaved Vija, means Janmana Jayate Shudra means by birth, everybody are a Shudra. in Kali Yuga. But with samskara, he can become a dvija but then so that means by gaining knowledge and to surrendering to a spiritual master, right? Then the person can become a Brahmin. And the Prabhupada says that in the Shastras it is said. So the Upanishad, Garga Upanishad, it quotes that at least before dying, one person has to become a Brahmana. Then his life is a successful. And then next one for Kshatriya, Shauryam Tejo Dhrutirdakshyam Yuddhe Chapi Apalayanam Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha Shatram Karma Swabhavajam, heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership are the qualities work for a Kshatriyas. So these are the qualities. So this we can see even if a people who are in an administration role, so they should be having these qualities. Only then they are fit to be a leader, right? So these are the qualities of a Kshatriya. Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam Vaishyam Karma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Farming, cattle raising and business are the qualities of the work for the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras there is labor and service to others. So the three, so here what we can see, the nine qualities for a Brahmana, and there are 7 qualities for a Shudra, and 3 qualities for a Vaishya and 1 quality for a Shudra. 3 qualities for Vaishya and 1 quality for Shudra. So farming, so and then the agriculture, and then cattle raising and business. So these 3 qualities are for a Vaishya, and a Shudra means helping the other ashramas. He's doing a service to others. So Prabhupada says that in Kali Yuga, all are 5th class Shudras. I mean, Shudras were also very good. So they were very dedicated. And N.A.D. Prabhuji also says that a Shudra means you should never get a money. You should never be given a money. Money if you give, because he will only drink and waste. So he should be given not by money, too much of money. That is what we see in today's generation also, right? If people are having too much money, they don't know what to do, and they engage in all the activities like the going to partying a lot or spending money just like anything, wasting. So that is not a not a good behavior. So that is a Shudra behavior. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So it is not that only Brahmana can attain perfection and go back to Godhead. So everybody, every ashrama, like Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, whoever doing their activity in their own work, they can also become perfect and go back to Godhead. Because for Krishna, there is no differentiation. Krishna says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Name Dveshosti Na Priyaha. Right? So for him, there is no differentiation. Everybody are equal to the God. But because we are all part and parcel. In chapter 15, Krishna says, Mamai Vamsha Jivaloke Jivaloka Sanatana. Right? So you are all my part and parcel. So why will Krishna differentiate anyone? So for him, everybody are his children. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. So this is a great learning here for all of us. So Krishna says that, so one should not imitate others. Like Arjuna trying to become a sannyasi is not advised, because he is a born Kshatriya and he possesses that qualities, he has to fight. So similarly, many of us, we see like why people are not happy in their professions, because that is not matching their psychophysical nature, because everybody has a different nature. So if somebody is interested in teaching, but then he's working in a corporate, so obviously he cannot be happy, right? So that's when Krishna is telling it is okay, even if you do imperfectly, take that which is matching, right? Which is your prescribed dharma. So, sorry. So here we can see in this picture. So this person is keeping a, sorry, let me have some water. So in this picture, we can see that he's keeping a competition between animals, different animals, and he's asking to climb. Who will be the first to climb the tree? So this is very unfair, right? How can a fish climb? How can a dog or this seal, right? So this cannot. Only possible is from a bird. So so only bird and a monkey, they can only. But then if it is to swim in water, then the fish can. So we cannot decide the intelligence, even the based on every person, every child has different abilities. We should not really compare. Comparison usually parents do by seeing with the other children, but we should never do, because some may be good in the academics, but the other children, they may be good in sports or in music, like that. So we should never compare that. It's not fair. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti labhate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So when we come to the transcendental platform above the three modes, right, then I understand my actual position. So my position is to, means I am a spirit soul. So I am in this material world due to my karmas. So my aim is to go back to Godhead, right? So then I am a servant of Krishna. So I will engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So only that understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, He is a proprietor of everything. So that understanding comes when person reach to this Brahmabhuta platform. So then for him, everything is same, right? He does not lament or desire anything. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yas chasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tad anantaram. One can understand me as I am, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full conscious of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So every chapter we see, everywhere Krishna has been stressing that the devotional service is the highest. Even at the end of the first sixth chapter, Krishna says, who is the highest yogi of the Jnana yogi, different yogis, karma yogi. He says that yogi namapi sarvesha madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam tame same yukta tamo mataha, means of all the yogis, the bhakti yogi is considered to be the highest. So here also Krishna declares that a devotional service, one who is engaged in the devotional service, is the highest, and he can, only with that Krishna can be understood, not by mental speculation. Nobody can understand. So it is said in Nectar of Devotion. So अथ श्रीकृष्ण नामादीना भवेत् ग्राह्यमिन्द्रियै सेवोन्मुखेः जिह्वादौ स्वयमेव स्फुरति यदः. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi means Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, and all paraphernalia. These things can be understood. Na bhavet grayam indriyai. With our material senses, we cannot understand. Sevon mukhe jivvadav. Sevon mukhi means by doing the service only, it swayameva spurati adaha. Even any person will be able to understand the Lord only by rendering the pure devotional service to the Lord. So how do we do the devotional service? Means we have been discussing about it a lot, but then if we are not engaging and just listening, but we are not engaging in the service, then it is just like Prabhupada gives an example of a honey and a honey bottle. So there's a honey bottle, okay, it's full of honey, but then it is a lid is closed. How do you taste? Without tasting, you can't know what is that pleasure that is there in devotional service, right? So for that, we need to taste. So for that, what does it mean? We need to engage in the service of Lord to understand or to realize that knowledge. We need to get into service. Otherwise, we won't understand. So there's an exhibition. So for exhibition, without a ticket, the security will not allow us inside, right? So similarly, if we want to go to abode of Krishna, then the ticket is ticket of bhakti. Machita sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi atachet tvam ahankaran nashoshyasi vinakshasi. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over the obstacles conditioned by my grace. So basically, we are all the pure soul, but then because of the conditioned nature, we have forgot our real identity. And I'm thinking myself associated with because of false ego, I'm identifying myself with body, right? But when I surrender to Krishna, Krishna will give me that knowledge. He says, Matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. When that knowledge is given, so then you will be fixed in devotional service, and then you are easy for us to cross the ocean of miseries. So any Prabhupada says, even a great swimmer cannot cross the ocean. So it's not easy, right? So so similarly, so when we have a problem, so here it is said, like Krishna will make the problem of a devotee like like if there is a water in the hoof print of a calf, right? So then what happens? You can cross over it very soon, very easily. But then you may not be able to cross the the ocean. So similarly, Krishna will make the obstacles. There will be obstacles in life, but Krishna will help you to get over it. So this is in 12th chapter also. Krishna says, Teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshitate chetasam. So mrityu sagara, from the ocean of miseries, death, birth, disease and old age. So from this, Krishna will help us, whoever surrenders to Krishna. Ishvara sarvabhutana mrittesh arjuna tishtati pramayam sarvabhutani yantrarudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of material energy. So this the soul is said to be in a material body, right? The soul is in a material, and this material body is Krishna comparing to a machine, seated on a machine. This our material body here. So you can see. So man is like this material body of ours is compared to a machine, because all the parts are working like a machine. Separately, if we take also, right? So the digestive system or the brain or all the different organs, the lungs, everything is working as a machine. So Krishna is calling this a body as a made of material energy, and which is like a machine. And there the Supreme Lord is situated, because there are two people, right? One is Paramatma and one is the soul. So the soul is engaged in different activities, and Paramatma is waiting to give hand, right? When will you turn back to me? So he is tasting a different fruits in the material world, sometimes sweet and sometimes bitter, but then Lord is always waiting. So he is directing the wanderings. So we get instructions from Lord, right? Sometimes we think some noise, we can hear that, okay, don't do this, or some instructions. So that is given by Krishna. But then it is very difficult. Unless we become purified, the Krishna will be in a sleeping mode. He is not active, the super soul also. So only when we are rendering service, we are engaged in Krishna's service, he will start guiding us. So, and when we are very sincere, it is said that Krishna will send a spiritual master. So when our prayers are sincere, then Krishna will send a bona fide spiritual master, right? And then we will be able to understand that knowledge from him. Tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and supreme eternal abode. So there are 6 principles in surrender, right? One is that do anything which is favorable to Krishna. Anukulasya sankalpa. Pratikulasya means favorable to Krishna and to the spiritual master. Pratikulasya varjana means rejecting everything which is not favorable to Krishna and the spiritual master. Rakshishyatiti vishwaso means having a strong belief that Krishna will protect me. So that is not depending like, okay, if I do that, only maybe that person can help me, or not like that. Having complete belief on Krishna, that he is the protector. And then Goptritve Varnanam Tata. Goptritve means Krishna acts as a guide. So Krishna is the one supreme guide who will guide us in everything. And also in that way, he has given us this Bhagavad Gita, right? Which is guiding us, which is given all instructions. So as a guide, he does this. And then Atmanikshepa Karpanya Shadvida Sharanagati. So Atmanikshepa means, so with the surrender and humility, one should surrender to Krishna. So these are the 6 things. So whoever surrenders to Krishna in that, so then he can attain the transcendental peace and supreme abode. Iti te gnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimishaitat asheshena yata ichasi tata kuru. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. So here we can see a great quality, right? Again, the Lord has given us everyone the free will to do. So he only gives the knowledge, but then he leaves in our hand to decide based on we have to, if we have to advance, right, then we have to take the instructions of the Lord. So here Krishna says, Yata ichasi tata kuru. So do what you wish to do. So I have given you all instructions. Now it is left to you whether you want to fight or give up and take renunciation or whatever, because he's not forcing Arjuna to fight. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvaivam. Sorry, Allah. Mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. So there's another shloka in 9.34, same. First 2 lines are same. The next 2 will be different. Manmana bhava madbhakto. So that means very important shloka. Krishna is stressing 2 times. So one is in 9.34 also. So where Krishna says, think of me, manmana, always think of me, bhava madbhakto, become my devotee, madhyaji, mam namaskuru, and offer your obeisances unto me, mame veshyam satatamte. So when you are always thinking of me, you will surely, priya janati priyosime, you are very dear to me, and you will come to me without fail. So when with the chanting of the holy name, so this we saw a lot about the sacrifices. So for Kali Yuga, the sacrifice is the chanting of holy name. We need not do any expensive sacrifices for this yuga. For this yuga, the yuga dharma, as per yuga dharma, it is chanting of the holy name is itself a sacrifice. So even the plants, animal, everything get purified when we are chanting, right? When they hear that transcendental vibration, everybody gets everyone gets benefited. So chanting manmana bhava madbhakto, offering to Lord and worshipping the Lord and paying obeisances. These are 4 things. So this is famous shloka. Okay, you all can repeat after me. Sarva dharmam parityajya. You can repeat. Sarva dharmam parityajya.
Sarvadharmam parityajya.
Mamekam sharanam vraja.
Mamekam sharanam vraja.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Mokshayishyami ma suchaha.
Mokshayishyami ma suchaha.
Sarva dharmam parityajya.
Sarvadharmam parityajya.
Mamekam sharanam vraja.
Mamekam sharanam vraja.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo.
Mokshayishyami ma suchaha.
Mokshayishyami ma suchaha.
Thank you. So you can see here Krishna is saying abandon all the religion, right? You can first see the translation again. So abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So Krishna is giving a hope to the devotee that, okay, don't worry, whatever you have done or in the past, so or in the previous lives, it's okay. But then if you surrender unto me, I will take away all the sinful reactions. And there's no need to fear. This is the guarantee which Krishna is giving. So here you can see the all what and all he's giving up. The rituals, fruitive activities, the traditions, liberation, so-called liberation, everything, demigod worship, and there are so many things, theology. So then, don't worry, I will take you to my abode. And so how Krishna protected different people, even the Jagai Madai who were so fallen. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here Gajendra, just by offering flower, Krishna gave him liberation. And how Krishna protected the Vrajavasis by lifting the Govardhan. So who have all these people surrendered to Krishna, and how Krishna saved them. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshva abhidasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyati asamshayaha. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come to me. So Krishna is asking here that this has to be exchanged with the devotees only, not with the non-devotees or somebody who is envious of Krishna. So this confidential knowledge of Krishna is to be discussed among devotees and not to one who is envious of Krishna. So this is Prabhupada giving Diksha. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So Krishna, for whoever spreads this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, for him, Krishna says that he is very dear to me. So this is Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has literally translated, you can see so many languages. Bhagavad Gita is available in most of these languages around the world, so that everybody could get benefited. And also our president, His Grace Namanishra Prabhuji, is making so much endeavor to spread this message of Bhagavad Gita. So as Krishna says, we all can just become an instrument, right? And we can instrument in spreading this Gita. So if you all feel that this message has somewhere helped you and to see a life in a different perspective, then please do share with others so that others also can get benefited. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship me by all intelligence. So whoever understands properly, whoever has with the sincerity, whoever listens to Bhagavad Gita, he starts taking up devotional service seriously and he worships with all his intelligence. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reaction and attains to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. So this is a Shruti Pala, right? Krishna is going. So now even for Arjuna, Arjuna also Krishna says that why are you fearing? If you die, you are going to heaven, right? So if somebody, and then if you war, and then you will get the kingdom. That's what Krishna said. And here, whoever listens with faith and without envy, he'll be free from all reaction and auspicious planet. In the higher planets he can go. Arjuna said, my dear, and also to Goloka also. You can, auspicious planet means even he can go to Krishna's abode or Vaikuntha. That will be the highest. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instruction. So before the war, Krishna brings Arjuna to illusion actually. He brings him to bewilderment because otherwise he is an eternal associate. But then he brings him to confusion so that the Bhagavad Gita could be told. So now, but after hearing, because Arjuna initially had so many illusions, right? He was not ready to fight. He gave the 5 reasons that there's no enjoyment and there's no happiness. There's no, it is sinful, the family tradition and indecisiveness. So these are the different, he had. So all this illusion is over. Now he says that I have understood what is the purpose of my life. So I am ready to fight. So finally, the 45 minutes, so we took 18 days. So the 45 minutes, which was in the Kurukshetra war field. So Arjuna decides after hearing for 45 minutes from Krishna, he decides to fight. Now Sanjaya says, okay, this is okay. O king, I repeatedly recall his wonders and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment because Sanjay is also a great devotee. So for devotees, when they hear about the Lord, they're always thrilled, right? They enjoy every conversation. More and more they hear, they want to hear about the Lord. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shir Vijayor Bhutihi, Druvamni Tirmatir Mama. The last sloka. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So now Sanjaya is giving his final verdict to Dhritarashtra, because he is the one who was narrating all this time, right? To Dhritarashtra, what is happening in the warfield. So now he says that, I think this is my final verdict. That is my opinion, that wherever there is Krishna, there's going to be victory. So that means he's indirectly telling that your son has lost this war. So before it started. So now it is not started. Now only Arjuna is ready to fight. The summary: freedom from bondage to karma yoga, pavanani manishinam, five factors of action, panchaite tasya hetavaha, the three modes control everything. Natad asti prithivyamcha, purification through varnashrama dharma, shreyan swadharmo vigunaha, Brahman platform, mad bhaktim lavate param, pure bhakti acting in Krishna consciousness, sarva dharmam parityajya. Conclusion: Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna. With this, we have come to the end of the chapter. Okay. So if Krishna is on our side, he will always win in life. So now for next batch, is starting on 12th September. We'll share this in the group. Please do share with your family and friends in the WhatsApp group so that we can have more and more registrations. And we have different batches for children 6 to 10 years. We have a different batch, and children 11 to 15 years, you can enroll your children also. And even for the youth, we have different batches. So you can register in our. And there are daily programs. Please do attend. Morning 4:30 to 5 it's Mangalarti, and 5:30 to 6 it is Japa. And 5:45 to 6, just a short 15 minutes. There's a every day one shloka, and the explanation will be told. So, and then Japa. So when alone, you may have, initially for us, it will be hard to do alone. So initially you can at least join with the all other devotees online. You can do along with them, the Japa, so that it becomes a habit. So then 8 to 9, we have a Bhagavatam. So it's not 8 to 9 actually. Now it is all, 8:15. Yeah, 8:15 to 9 around it goes. And then this, I'm not sure if this is happening. Yeah. So this is all temple link. Okay. This is the temple link. We'll give the details. And please register. So, okay, this is some wrong link. We will share in the group for, there are two options. Okay. There is one level 2. It is called as pre-Bhakti Shastri course. So which leads to level 3, 4, 5 and reach you to ISKCON Bhakti Shastri degree in 3 years of disciplined effort. So basically here you have the assignments, but then in the there is assignment examinations. So, and then there is one more where people don't want to take the exams. So their Bhakti Sadachar actually, but this is different. If you want to know the Vaishnava philosophy, Vaishnava customs and these things, right? So how to dress or how to put tilak and different stories from the Bhagavatam. This will be taught in the Bhakti Sadachar course. So you can enroll for both also. So I personally, I request all of you to please do compulsorily for the first one, pre-Bhakti Shastri, because only then we can grow, right? So you're taking exams. I think even in this quiz, it would have helped you to learn more, because for every question you go wrong or right, you may have the explanation like about it in detail. So the aim is to make you also a preacher. Okay. So yeah, please do take. Okay, with this we completed. Okay, you can, okay, any doubts on today's chapter, or you can also, any feedback to me on these 18 days, you are free to give it. Yeah. Hare Krishna. And yeah, thank you so much for attending all these days. And if any mistakes happen from my side, I'm sorry for that. I don't know, knowingly or unknowingly, if anything happened. So please do continue your journey, and level 2, please continue. So anything, if you want to give me a suggestion or for improvement, you are welcome.
Could you briefly explain the second level, Mataji?
Second level? Yeah, Mataji, second level is again Bhagavad Gita only in bit detail. Like we'll be explaining from the purport of Bhagavad Gita. Like Prabhupada has given a big purport, right, for every shloka. So here we are, usually we are just touching the shlokas, the meaning and some, but then there you are going to more into philosophical side. So you are going to see the purport, what exactly it explains, the shloka, the deep meaning. So like that it goes. Not all the shlokas covered again. It is not possible because it is just a 1 hour session. So it is not possible. Again, you have to do a self-reading. Yes. And then you will have like weekly, there'll be weekly or in a, I think weekly you have a quiz. So you can take the quiz. It is not very difficult, but you can read from either, if you don't have books, you can read from Vedabase, or if you don't have books, please do order. Okay. And I think most of you all have books. Okay. Okay. Arvind Prabhu is asking for link for buying books. 1 second.
You have sent the link.
Oh, you have sent already? Okay.
Yeah.
You can just post in chat, Prabhu, once again.
The second level course, Mataji, is it a graduation course or something? Degree that you're offering after
No, it
3
is
years?
level 2. No,
Just-
that is the Bhakti Shastri, Prabhu. That is in the, like when you take Bhakti Shastri, actually, whoever does 16 rounds, NAD Prabhuji is giving directly entry to, I mean, last time he gave. Now also, I think it is possible. Like whoever starts, I mean, very serious, really taking 16 rounds. And for them, is giving directly to Bhakti Shastri. Otherwise, level 2 is there, level 3 is there, and then level 4, and then you go to level 5. You can gradually also go, no problem. You slowly you can go. So do this level 2. So only Bhagavad Gita. In level 3, you will study other books of Prabhupada. Like this Nectar of Instruction is there, Ishopanishad is there, and then Nectar of Devotion. So these books, very beautiful books. So that you will study in the level 3. And also not only that, in level 3, you are going to do the presentation yourself. You have to do it. So you'll be given like topics, okay? So for example, you'll be given a topic on soul. So the soul, wherever the soul comes, that also is given to you. Like from this chapter 2, these shlokas cover this topic. And in chapter 3, I mean, wherever, in the 18th chapter, wherever that topic is covered, or so that topic, that shloka numbers will be given to you. Based on that, you have to prepare the presentation. And in your group, you have to present in the class. So very nice it is. So for you, yeah, it will be in level 3. So, yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, this book link, Ajay Prabhu, will you be able to give that in the...
When is the second level starting, Mataji?
I think next week.
Okay.
Next week. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll show you in the... It's very easy for you to... 1 second. You can just go to our website. I will show you how you can. Okay, this is our website, www.iskonmangaluru.com. And then you can go here. You have a store, and then course material. Okay, you can just, I'll post the link. Okay. So this is our website. Please keep this. You have many informative things here. There's a registration also, you can go here, and there are free resources. Okay, first let me show you the store, the course material. Is it not opening? Okay, see now here you can see the books. Okay, so there are different books for Bhakti Vriksha. Mainly when you come to level 3, you need more books. So now, so this is the we have different japa malas. Simple mala with japa bag 200, and then tulsi mala, and then big tulsi mala. So different rates. You can see here the kit, what all it has. It was also having one book. So this is the initial, there is a one how to follow this Krishna consciousness. That one book also is included in that. And then this beginner one, if somebody is not having Bhagavad Gita, so you can order this. This is a, so I'll just post this link also in the, you can check here. So for this Bhagavad Gita, which is coming with another 2 books, Perfect Question, Perfect Answer, and the Science of Self-Realization. This is for 600. You can buy this, or this comes with 3 books, free gift of Japamala with bag. Okay. And then this is for level 2, 3, and 4. This is Bhakti Vriksha. So here this has Krishna book, Nectar of Devotion, Sri Ishopanishad, Srila Prabhupada book, Nectar of Instruction, Song of Vaishnava. So all these books are coming to you. So you can see here. So this is Prabhupada, about Prabhupada. This is also a nice book. We need to know about the founder Acharya. So what are the struggles Prabhupada has gone through, right? Initially when he wanted to establish this, and it has from his childhood, everything, how about his life. So this is also a nice book you can buy. So this is here. Only the difference is in the Tulsi Mala. Here it is a ordinary Japa Mala, and here Tulsi Mala. If you already have the Mala Tulsi, then you can go for this 900 rupees. You can buy now actually this one, because if you are all going to level 2, I think level 2 you don't have this. It will come in level 3 only. But if you want to read still, you can buy these books. And this is a Bhagavatam set. Okay, it is said that if we buy Bhagavatam, it is like Krishna coming home. Okay, and many people have told like so many problems they have, and when the Bhagavatam had come, automatically somehow that the problem they got resolved for them. So because it is Krishna in the book form, it's in a Krishna is coming in the form of Bhagavatam. Shruti. So yeah, so these are all for schools. We have Radha Govind Sunday School for children. So you can enroll your, means for that, children have to first do that 18 days course. After that, every Sunday, like there should not be disconnection for them, right? So we have this Sunday school. So where they have books, values of life. For every section, there are different books, and teachers will come and teach every Sunday, 1 hour they will have classes. So can see this, and here you can see all the how to register, and there are some free resources. You can access to free resources in our website. So the soft copy of the Bhagavad Gita is available in these languages, English, Hindi, Kannada. So you can access it, download, and there's 108 important shloka which Acharya has given, so that at least if we know, it is good to quote, right, when we are telling others. So it is always from Shastras when you quote, that has more strength, that that has more validation. And then there's some Veda base, where soft copy of all the books are available. You can read your time, leisure time. So this is
now itself the link has been given in the group.
Okay, Prabhu. So this is, I just thought to share all of them. And if you want to donate also, we don't, usually there is many messages coming to everyone by SMS, but we at ISKCON Mangaluru, we don't do that. So if you want to donate, you please have to come here to the donation, and here you can, so select any of the sevas. Okay, this is the procedure. And then any upcoming events, you will be updated here in the website. So please do have this website information with you. So whenever you want, you can access. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, any questions? Okay, any realization you had from this, or anything new you learned or you are going to imply in your life, can tell. Or anything you want to share, can tell. Anything you want to apply in your life. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Diya Mataji, want to say anything? Okay, was it any helpful to you, the 18 days Gita?
Yes, Mataji, definitely is of lot of help to, I think, all of us. We have learned a lot of many things, but applying it in the real life might take some time. But yes, definitely.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
I have
sure,
started
sure.
taking prasadam today only in the afternoon. I was at the ISKCON only. I took prasadam and rushed by 2:45. I came back home to attend this Gita
Oh,
course
very nice.
because today was the
Very
last
nice.
day. So I was at ISKCON
Yes.
only today. So I'm trying to gradually, I think, all by Krishna's wish, if I may.
Yeah, you just be in contact, Prabhu. I mean, be in the connection of devotees, okay?
Right.
Don't just go, yeah. Because if we go, then the connection will go.
Right. And as I told you earlier, also tomorrow I'm going to Mayapur Dham. So
nice.
let me see
Oh,
how
very
far I
nice.
can go by his grace.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Abhinav Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Arvind. Does anybody else want to say anything? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Also, thanks to all the devotees.
Ah.
You please, you all are requested to complete the quiz and download the certificate. Also, you are advised to join level 2. Today itself, we have sent the link to purchase books. So you may purchase books.
Okay. So it's been shared in group. You can enroll for level 2, and the books link also is being shared in the group. And thank you so much, Ajay Prabhu, for your support all these 18 days and so sincerely, like 220 used to be there online for reading shloka and recitation.
You have rendered all your time for this purpose.
No, you have also given equally, Prabhu, I think. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay. We all will say 3 times Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, wish you all very best. So please do continue in the spiritual journey, and let the Lordship Radha Govind bless you all. So to advance in your spiritual life. So thank you so much for the association, and please do continue in your next 18.
We will get information like Mataji.
Mataji?
We will get information of the second course.
Yeah, sure. Everything will be shared in the group. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Diya Mataji. Yeah, thanks everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for taking us so long for the last 18 days.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.